Black and I'm voting.
I'm Black and I'm voting.
I'm voting for higher wages.
I'm voting for my reproductive rights.
I'm voting for resources to become an entrepreneur.
I'm voting for police accountability.
I'm voting for affordable housing.
I'm voting for clean water.
I'm voting for easy access to the polls.
I'm voting for our future.
I'm voting for more school funding.
I am Black and I am voting.
I'm Black and I'm voting.
What are you voting for?
I'm Black and I'm voting.
Welcome to A Call to Action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and have the absolute pleasure of interviewing a good friend of mine, but that's not the important thing. The most important thing is to try to bring some exposure to the community for a program that's making a measurable difference in our community. And the name of the organization is Motivating Youth, and the name of the individual who's responsible for the adult readiness program, which is what we want to talk basically about today, is none other than Roger Jackson, Mr. Roger Jackson.
Good afternoon. How's everybody?
Homeboy, you know.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Went to Central High School and went on to, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Roger. Then we're going to delve into the adult readiness program.
Okay, I'm from Macon, Georgia, Terminal Heights product, by way of Pleasant Hill, Unionville, Folk Hill, all of Macon. But graduated from Central High and went on to Bethune-Cookman College in Daytona Beach, Florida, which is today Bethune-Cookman University. Graduated 1982, one at the top of my class. Scholar, athlete, leader. I live by the motto of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, enter to learn, depart to serve. And I'm serving my community now, serving mankind. Got an opportunity after graduation, 2 days later, to sign with the Denver Broncos and made a pretty good career out of it. Been in the NFL 18 years, 5 as a player and 13 as an administrator. Had a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities. Met a lot of great people, and still are friends with a lot of people now that I've crossed paths with. Crossed paths with some young people back in the days that are mega stars now, and I like to say I helped them along the way, like Mr. Hamersham helped me.
Well, thank you very much. And you're just doing that. I like that serve part. I don't remember the exact quote, but I do remember the word serve. And I want to, first of all, congratulate you. And I'm not the only one who realized that. But talk a little bit about, no, I want to do something at first. Talk a little bit about your dedication to your high school, Central, with what you did to have them a sign put on Napier Avenue.
Well, you know, it's I always see a need of any individual or group trying to make ends meet. And I know now from being in the professional ranks for so many years that, you know, and being associated with Mercer University, that I know how society works and I know how money works. And I know for our youth, our kids, our athletes to have a great opportunity to be on an equal playing field, that it takes money. And money makes the world go round, makes life goes round. You know, I remember I used to hear people say money ain't everything. I said, what it ain't? As you would say, what is it not? But, you know, I saw a need that we can make some money as an alumnus of Central High, that if they can get a sign or billboard up, that they could possibly generate some funds from the community. And with businesses going the way they're going, you know, they would like to tie into that youth, because if you tie into the youth or supporting them when they're young, then they will support you when they get older, when they up and out and making money, or if they go off to college and come back, then they'll use your services because they will remember that you supported them. So I took on the task, me and a couple other fellas, Michael Rogers and Reggie May, and some of the other alumni, that with permission from Mr. Frazier, the principal, that former principal at Central. Now he's moved on to front office down in the board. He's up on the 4th floor now. But you know, I told them if they gave me the permission that I would raise the funds for this sign, and it would be a sign of significance. It wouldn't just be a little small sign, but we can generate funds from it with sponsorship and advertising. And they didn't quite understand it, and I think they're beginning to understand it now, because I seem to see a few things going up on the digital side, which I told them I'm gonna fill up the solid side, the part that the stationary signs, but it's going to be on them to do the digital part. And I've been on them. I make a phone call once a week. You know, the sign ain't changing, just to ignite a fire up under them. But they put some people in place who can manage the sign in the school system, and they call me periodically to ask me questions about, you know, how to operate, how to approach people, and I gave them a blueprint. And that sign cost us between $75,000 and $100,000 to go up. And I don't want to say I was the only one that was instrumental in raising the fund, but I took on the lead, and everybody else just tagged along. And you know, I don't want to toot my horn, but I'm gonna toot my horn because it is what it is. And because, you know, at one point they just wanted billboards, and I was like, now we need something that's going to be different, and we need to light it up. And you know, one of the things that was frustrating is that the school board would not give us the funding that they gave to other schools, new schools that they built, you know, which it cost like $12,000 to put up those little small signs. And I asked them, we asked them, would they donate that to us, and they wouldn't do it. And you know, it was kind of like, you know, you're on your own on this. And you know, it was frustrating because they made us pay for the electrician and all of that, but the engineer. So, you know, but I told them, you know, you give me the go ahead, and I go ahead and do it. And I didn't want to use their tax ID because it takes too long. You got to go through vetting, and they wanted to bid it out. And I said, the heck with it. I'll raise the funds, and we won't worry about a bid. And we're going to get it up at a certain time. And I want the students to have it when school opened back up last year. And we did, you know. And you know, that's one of the things I take pride in, because when I ride down Napier Avenue, I can see it from the bottom of the hill or from the top of the hill, you know.
Well, that's outstanding, and I'm glad, you know, you told that story, because I mean, for you to take the lead and doing something that's permanently beneficial to Central High School. You know, I used to teach there.
Yes.
You know, so I just think that I would be remiss if I didn't give you credit and thank you for the role that you're playing, you know, with the young people, but you're also doing something with the older folk. And that's the adult readiness program. And then a lot of people in the community feel like that if a person is having some difficulty or has a record or something of that nature, that we shouldn't even consider them or think about them. Well, you said that's not true, you know, because they need an opportunity too. They need an opportunity for gainful employment. They need an opportunity to take care of their family. They need an opportunity to feel good about themselves. They need an opportunity to show that they are redeemed and that they are ready, willing, and able to be a meaningful part of society. So talk about the creation, the development, the existence, and the progress of the adult readiness program.
You know, that program is really taken on to me to be, I mean, that's my baby now, you know. And I think it's, you know, with the people that will work along with me, you know, you yourself, the great facilitators, Mr. Fickling, Ms. Smith, Ms. Elliott, Mr. King, Mr. Howell, you know, everybody's taking it personal, you know, that now they see the light. I know when we first started out, people thought I was about crazy. Your wife, hey, ain't no way you could do all of that, you know. And you know, it was more of a scary thing than that people thought about, you know, helping ex-cons and convicted felons, and, you know, people with criminal records. You know, people kind of shied away that it couldn't be done, you know. But as that poem say, we learned when we was pledging, he would have chuckled replied, I wouldn't be the first to say I couldn't until I tried. So we took off our hat, we took off our coat, and now we are doing it, you know. Let's live your creed. But this program is geared toward helping the unemployable, the people that society has cast aside, people who have criminal records, convicted felons, jail time, people who have never had an opportunity because of certain circumstances in life, not that they've been to jail or been in trouble. Nobody's never taught them, given them the tools to be successful in life. And they had to live day to day, however they can, you know, and all they live for is today and not tomorrow. But we've given them hope, and putting the program together. A lot of people don't know the name of the program used to be, when we started out with another group that how it formalized was, what if it was your child? And I kind of named it that, and we all agreed, but that resonates with any parent that has a child. That if I was coming in the door, when we deal with the management, HR, general managers, presidents of these companies, and I tell them, you know, what the name originally was. What if it was your child? And I ask them sometimes to close your eyes and repeat after me. What if it was your child? Wouldn't you want Roger Jackson and him fight for your child, your kid, who have messed up or made a mistake in life, to get an opportunity to lead a successful life, as in getting a gainful employment and being part of society? And then, you know, I changed the name to Adult Readiness, because now we're getting them ready for the world. And it's working out greatly for our community.
Okay, talk a little bit about statistics, and then we'll move more into the kind of like the training and the entities that are employing these people. But talk about the statistics. You know what I told them? I told them in my class, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. Talk a little bit about the pudding.
You know, the pudding is, to this date, and we have 126 graduates. We have 119 that's gainfully employed or have been gainfully employed. But the most successful statistic on that part is, I went back and I checked my all the applications and the files, and came up with a number that's gonna be mind-blowing. That 126 or 119 that's gainfully employed, it immediately affect 452 kids, wives, girlfriends, mamas, aunts, people that live in that household with that individual who's working. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And I call it the domino effect. If we can get one individual or all the individuals employed, just think how many people that's going to affect in that household, you know, rather than them going out and committing a crime to try to feed their household. Now they can go out and they got a job, successful job, and they're working and being contributing members of society. Now their kids don't have to come up wanting anything. You know, that parent can buy it for them, that parent who's gainfully employed through our program. So it's in this class that's going to graduate November the 3rd, we have 14 graduates. That's going to affect 89 individuals in those households. That's a lot of people. Yep. That's a lot of people, you know, and to see them at the beginning, man, you should have seen class today and last week, you know, when I mean, they come in from day one, nobody speaks to nobody, you know, and I'm trying to pull it out of them. Then by day 3, they're talking a little bit, you got little pockets, but today and last week, it was outstanding. I mean, you can hear them all down the hall throughout the building, the conversation that was going on with the facilitators that was there teaching.
That is so I think. So I guess people are wondering, about the mechanics. So just quickly walk through the beginning of the program and through the session to the graduation. Because it's successful, you got 126 folks, you got 119 jobs. And then I know some people say, well, how did that happen? So just kind of walk through it and tell them how it did happen. Now I'm a living witness.
Yeah, you
it
are.
Did happen,
You are. And you're part of it. You are part of it.
I'm part of it. So just talk to us about the recruitment, the classes, the facilitators to the graduation, to the employment.
Well, one of the things we had to do, we had to go to the source. And in talking, a lot of people just talk, and then you have no solution. I had to go and find a solution. The solution was, if we can get these individuals employed, then we can get them away from the criminal activity. But then you got to go to the employer and say, would you hire them? And they said, no. Then I said, well, what would it take for you to change your mind? So they come in, they don't have no job skills, they don't have any soft skills, they don't have customer service, they can't talk, they don't know how to act on the job. So we go back to the drawing board, and now, as you say, we go back in the lab, and then we create this model, as in, all right, we're gonna have a program that's gonna specialize in soft skills, gonna specialize in customer service, career development, and under career development, that's how to talk, how to act, your purpose here, working on this job, mock interviews, teaching them how to present themselves, giving them a elevator pitch. You got 10 seconds, you got 15 seconds, 30 seconds to tell about yourself, what's important and what's your purpose, And then we go on to the placement. And what we had to do is, you got to convince these individuals that they got to change their lives. And they're like, well, what do I change first? You change everything. You don't just change one thing, you change everything, I mean, going to bed at night, stop associating with old friends and family members too, changing the way your girlfriend think, your wife think, you got to talk to them and say, hey, this is the new me. And then being talkative, being able to get along in a classroom setting, because the classroom setting, as you has told them, hey, that's your job. You got to be able to get along with people around you and not take everything personal.
Yeah.
When if people are huddled up talking across the plant or the office or the workspace, they're not talking about you. and that's what a lot of our individuals have come up in an environment like that. And we've convinced them that that ain't life. Life is doing the right thing, being accountable for your actions, being accountable to that job. You're there to work 8, 9, 10 hours, and you get paid on Friday, and your responsibility is to show up on Monday morning early, and work another 40 hours or 50 hours a week, and and we've witnessed, me and you firsthand, that some of the things that we're teaching, a lot of things we're teaching, it's the first time they ever heard this. First time they ever heard this, and it used to be mind-blowing or mind-boggling, but now it isn't. It's like, wow, we got some individuals, some people in our community, a lot of people that have missed a whole lot in life. We're talking about people 20, 30, 40, 50, even a couple of 60-year-olds have been in the class, that they don't understand how life works. And that's what we're trying to teach them.
Okay, so you got these facilitators, and how long does the program last? And just talk a little bit about your facilitators.
We started out thinking that we can go 6 weeks, and then, we don't pay these individuals to come to class. They come because they want to change their lives. And that's the payment is, we're going to give them an opportunity to present themselves to a company, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 companies, and they're going to be able to sell themselves and get their own job. But we line up these interviews for them to be interviewed. But the thing is these individuals are doing the things that nobody's never taught them, you know, and the way we going with the program is in a positive way, in leading into how we change this community. It's like a domino effect, you know. If we can get so many individuals employed, we can impact so many lives.
Well, that's so outstanding, and congratulations. I guess I don't want this program to end without mentioning that the NAACP did recognize you at their Earl T. Shinholster Awards, and the reason I say that like that, Ron, you don't know this. I taught Earl Shinholster.
Wow.
In Savannah.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was one of my students.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And he was a phenomenal guy then, and he went on to play a major role in civil rights, and they named the ceremony after him in some of the awards. So talk a little bit about being a recipient of that.
Well, being a recipient of any award from the NAACP, you know, in your community or nationwide or whatever, it was a great honor, you know, to be recognized by them, you know, and I don't take it lightly that it should have happened. I had it coming. I take it as my old coaches say, somebody thought enough of you, you know, to recognize you, and you got to cherish that. And it doesn't matter how big or how small the organization is, you got to cherish every accomplishment that somebody recognizes for you. And to come from the NAACP is a big, you know, that's got to be the biggest thing that I've been awarded, you know, in my life, you know, from a organization like that, you know, to be recognized on any level.
Yeah, and then, you know, I use the example that a lot of people talk about what they do, but the most important thing is what you do for others. You know, Mother Teresa told somebody that one time, and I stole that from her. Yeah, it's okay what you do, but let me ask you something. What do you do for others? And I think that you've got absolute indisputable documentation as it relates to what you have been doing, are doing, and will continue to do for others. But I think that you would want to take, I want two other things. Number one, talk a little bit about what it takes to get in the program. But then I think that you've already mentioned the facilitator, but talk a little bit about it. And even if you don't want to name them, I do think that we need to make an expression about those employers.
You know,
try to not be robbery, to try to give people a chance.
Right. We the program started, like I said, you know, I got off track because I was trying to think what I was on my concussion kicking in. But it was 6 weeks, and we got it down to 5 weeks, and then to 4 weeks, and now we're at 3 weeks. And my philosophy on that is I can't make it all about me and the facilitators in our program when we're trying to drill them. You know, the great facilitators that we have working with the program, Mr. Alex Hamersham, Mr. Travius Smith, Mr. Bob Picklin, Mr. Vernon King, Mr. Bob Howell, who's one of our commissioners, and then Miss Jada Elliott, and then we have, I can't think of my other young man name, it slipped me to come to me, but with those individuals working with the program, and us not paying these individuals, and they need a job, I came to the conclusion that we can only hold them with a good attention span about 3 to 4 weeks. And after that, they need to have a job, you know, and because they got families to feed and they need to be fed. And I don't want them asking me for money and do this and do that. But I mean, sometimes I have to step up to the plate and help them out. But keeping it right at 3 to 4 weeks is about that limit where like a train coming through a tunnel, that light is real dim. Then as it get closer and closer to the edge, the lights get brighter. And we see that from day one when they're in the program and not talking a lot to like today, you can hear them all over the building, you know, the whole entire classroom conversating with the facilitators and giving the feedback and talking personally about themselves. And to get these individuals to talk personally about themselves, they are getting out of the box because they've been their whole life with their fist up and their fist balled up, ready to fight, you know, and defend themselves. And now they're in a group of, hey, they can be individuals now, and everybody got problems, and it's all in how you deal with those problems. And in the past, they haven't been able to deal with those problems properly, but now they have the tools that the great facilitators that are working with the program has taught them.
What does it take to become a part of the program?
All they have to do is come to our orientation or come to the first day of class and sign up. We have a real basic application that is real limited. We just want basic information, name, address, you know, emergency contact, and then we go through the educational part. And if they've been convicted of a crime, just tell me a little bit about it. And because as we go on, they will talk about it. But and they got to come with a willing attitude as to, you know, you get out what you put in, and if you don't put that in, you don't get anything out. So that's basically it. And we will be putting out after this class graduate and hopefully get everybody employed, then we'll get ready to start a new class.
Okay, how should one, what's the process of applying?
They can contact me, Roger Jackson, 478-320-4756, or they can email me at motivatingyouth@yahoo.com, or they can go on my Facebook page or send me an inbox, Roger Jackson. Or they can contact Mr. Alex Hamersham. You know, he will forward all the information to me. Or the Middle Georgia Black pages.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's habersham7@gmail.com. Hey man, hey, I want to congratulate you publicly for all that you're doing in the community, not only as it relates to the kids at Central, and you didn't talk about the younger program, the youth program for motivating youth, but you're doing that too. I'll just shout that out pretty quickly. And the adult readiness program, you know, it is absolutely unthinkable that somebody, you know, could take this group of individuals, take 126 of them, take them through a training process and get 119 of the 126 gainfully employed. And I say gainfully because they are good jobs. So I really, really want to thank you and congratulate you, you know, for your efforts. And I really appreciate it. And whether the community realizes it or not, they appreciate it too.
You know, I look for that day when we're getting close. When we get our 200 graduating class, 200 people that have graduated, and we're still at that 4 to 5 that haven't gotten employed. You know, I want to see those numbers there. And that's when I start boasting a little bit more about the program, you know, because, you know, I'm always the one that, you know, I like to say, you got to have skin in the game.
Yeah.
And when I want to approach people, I want to have some true numbers that, you know, this wasn't no fluke. You know, we work toward this, you know, the staff and I, we work toward this, you know, and each individual have contributed.
Well, that's outstanding. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Mr. Roger Jackson, noted NFL defensive player, the developer of the sign on Napier Avenue for Central High School, the founder, creator, and originator of the Motivating Youth Foundation and the Adult Readiness Program, and he's involved in several, and the recipient of the Earl T. NAACP Award. And man, you deserve all of those accolades. We appreciate what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And as you know, I'm here to help and support you in any way that I can. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Here's a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com